Well, good morning, everybody. This is DearMamaSal on a beautiful Wednesday morning. It is 11 degrees here in southern British Columbia, which I believe will be 51 in American. How about that? I didn't even have to look. Of course, now there's part of me going, you better look just to make sure. Yes! Did it. However, I am already into my fall clothes, big time, to give you some sort of idea. Now, yesterday, I spent most of the day taking clothes on and off. That sounds good, doesn't it? All right, let me rephrase that. I spent most of the day either taking off my cardigan because I was too warm, because I was busy doing stuff, or trying to find it again because I was getting cold. There's something about the heating system, or lack thereof, in my office that, you know, doesn't keep things at a steady temperature. And I think I'm probably going to spend a lot of the fall doing that. It's a really good idea in my office to bring layers of clothes for that very reason. All right, now the first thing that I wanted to talk about today was the horror that I had. I was driving yesterday and I looked over to my footwell of my passenger side, you know, that area where people put their feet, just in time to see a spider dropping down. And there it is again. Anyway, just in time to see a spider dropping down. Now, it wasn't just any little spider, it was a wood spider. And I can assure you, that did not please me. Now, what is it about spiders? I mean, what are the chances that it will bite me? What are the chances that it will cause a problem of any sort? But my attitude is, how the did it get into my car? And if there's one, are there more? You know, did it turn my car into spider breeding ground or something? Anyway, very, very, very scary when you're driving. So my first question is, what would you do if you suddenly found a spider this size in within arm distance of your body? Yeah, this probably wake a few of you up at this time of the morning. So today, I wanted to talk to you about something that I witnessed yesterday. And this is all in terms of, some people just make a big impression on you, don't they? For whatever reason, our company, well, a receptionist, decided to take in one of those competitions on the radio and won. And won one of those things where they come and visit you with coffee and donuts, along with the host of the radio show. Well, the reason that I wanted to talk about it is, first of all, wasn't that fun? The noise level in our offices was absolutely unbearable, enough that every lawyer I had to come out to find out what the hell had happened to the company. And anyway, so the thing that I wanted to say was what an incredible people person this radio host was. Now, I've been in the business in as much as that I was married to somebody in the business, and so I've seen it firsthand. But boy, did this person know how to meet people and be memorable and make everybody feel memorable. It was really, really impressive. So if you can imagine, he was meeting maybe 30 people, and each case he asked for their name and he meant it. You know, he didn't just ask it to be, hi, you know, I'm Willie, what's your name? He really said it in a way that he really wanted to know your name. And once he got your name, he then proceeded to ask questions with your name attached to it, which was quite honestly impressive. And then he just made every moment count. You know what I mean? So every moment that he spent talking to you, you know, he had full eye contact. It wasn't just like, oh, let me move on to the next person because there's so many people here. He had full eye contact. I mean, this guy should be a politician. He was that memorable. And then, when I got to meet him, I just said to him, your people skills are unbelievably powerful. And I told him what I'd witnessed and how impressive it was. And can you believe what he did? He took a step forward and gave me the biggest hug you can imagine. It was so cute. And he said, thank you for noticing. And I said, oh, I notice things like that. But really, really impressive stuff. Let's work on that today. Let's work on when we meet anybody, if we meet anybody today, or if we talk to anybody today, can we remember that the most important thing in anybody's life is their name, whether they know it or not. Your name is actually part of what defines you. And that's why some of you have changed your name, because you didn't think the name that you got given suited you or whatever. But I'm amazed how many people I meet and they say, my name is Patricia or Pat, whichever you prefer. And I go, no, it's not what I prefer, it's which do you prefer? And it's funny how many people will say to me, oh, it doesn't matter. Well, actually it does. It really does. If you hate to be called Patricia, I'm pretty sure you tell me, but if you just prefer Patricia over Pat, I think that also matters. Even if, you know, you don't have a conniption if somebody calls you Pat. So from that perspective, I always ask, and I push. If they just say, oh, it doesn't matter, I go, yes, it does to me. I would prefer to call you the name you prefer. And that actually rocks people. They sort of go, oh, okay, well then it's Patricia. I go, okay, thank you. And the trick on this one is use that name a few times at the beginning of the conversation. So tell me, Patricia, what do you think about X, Y, and Z? Or whatever it is that you're having a discussion about, use the name. Because the more you use it at the beginning, the more likely you are to remember it. Now, of course, the other trick is to link it to some other Patricia that you know, so that when you see their face, you also see the face of your friend called Patricia, not Pat. And if it's a Pat, then link it to a face of somebody you know that's called Pat, not Patricia. So the trick today is let's make people feel special by using their name. And also, even if you're meeting them for a split second, take the time to look them in the eyes and genuinely ask them a question. Or genuinely compliment them on something they're wearing. Or their smile, or their earrings, or, you know, or their tie, or something. Genuinely. Now, don't be insincere, because insincerity people can hear a mile away. And it might just be a sincere question, where are you from? Originally. I noticed that in in our company, we have people from all around the world in our company. And what was really impressive was that one of our members of staff is obviously from the Eastern Bloc. And he sort of said, you know, where are you from? And she said, guess. I want to tell you something. He guessed in a circle from Poland through to the Ukraine and then went Romania. And what struck me as impressive was his knowledge of that part of the world. And so the simple question, where are you from, could have brought him the answer that he wanted, but as she didn't give it to him, he then played what I thought was going to be a very dangerous game, which is the guessing game of where she might be from. But it was impressive. So each of those things told us something about him. Number one, he definitely is a people person. And number two, he has great breadth of knowledge. So it was it was impressive. As you know, I don't get that impressed that easily. And I thought, what a great thing to chat to you about. And one of the things that you notice, for example, I don't know if you remember, but one of the interviews I did at Vlog Affair, the mother said she was so impressed with how much the vloggers cared about their viewers. And she said, you know, they genuinely take the time to talk to them. And that's exactly the same thing. This man took the time to get to know somebody, even if it was for a minute. He took the time. So as you go around your day today, you'll probably think, oh, Sal, but I don't meet anybody. Well, I think you do. Be aware of how many people you actually meet in a day. Whether it's helping them in the grocery store. Oh, when did you last help somebody in the grocery store? I've got one grocery store where I've been going for close to 20 years, and they've got one member of staff who's been there for as long as I have, as long as I've been in the area. And it's funny because every now and then I will stop and ask her a question. I think she's from Laos originally. Why does that sound so wrong? I've got to think about that now. Never mind. But anyway, she is just a delightful thing, and she stands about 4 foot nothing. And she's got a little smile on her that is just so welcoming. And so every now and then, as I'm pushing my cart around, I will see her, and I will always give her the biggest smile, because we know each other. And then sometimes I will stop and ask how the family is, or gosh, it's busy in here today, are you coping? You know, I'll ask some question like that, and just to watch her react, that she is more than a stocker of shelves, she is a human being, and that I acknowledge that. And I'm just thinking, you know, we all, as long as we step outside our own four walls, we meet people. I would encourage you in this whole attitude of getting more social again, because our lives, without a doubt, our lives are more and more cocooned. We spend more and more time inside our houses rather than outside. It is really important that we take these little moments to keep our social skills up to date. And it's little things, you know, if I think about it, nearly always have something to say to the checkout person at the grocery store. I go out of my way to ask them a couple of questions, especially if they've gone out of their way to comment on something that I've bought in a nice way. Oh, I hear that's a really good thing, or whatever. Now maybe the store's taught them to do that, that's fine. But the fact that they do it makes me feel like I made a good choice. I understand the psychology of that. And so the least I can do is thank them for it. Okay, so that's our thought for the day. Be aware of meeting people and try and make each meeting special to the other person. And I'm going to spend a little while in the next little while just talking about little things like that, because I do believe that to a large extent we've forgotten some of our social skills. I actually went around the office, and I do it every day. At some time I will go around and just say hello to everybody. And it's amazing how many people don't even answer me. You know, they're so deep in their work, they just don't answer. And I try not to take that too personally. But somebody yesterday actually said to me, you know, you come around especially to say hello to everybody, don't you, Sal? And I went, yeah. Tried to do it at least once a day. Why? And I remember her saying, I think I should do that. I don't do that. And then I said, yeah, I sometimes think that I could, you know, I could expire, if you like. I could die in my office. And would anybody notice? And the reason for that is my office is sort of away from everybody else's. And I said, you know, I often wonder if it happened, whether anybody'd notice. And then somebody else piped in and said, oh yeah, Sal, you know, we'd need something. And we'd be kicking at you going, get off the floor, Sal. I need this. Find it. Please find it. Because, you know, I'm for some reason I've become the company, if you've lost it, Sal will find it person. I don't know how I ended up doing that, but I guess I'm quite good at finding things that go missing. Have a fun day, everybody. Remember to look after one another, but most of all, look after yourself. This is DearMamaSal saying thank you so much for being a viewer. If you're a new viewer, don't forget to subscribe, because that makes me feel like I'm doing a good thing. And if you've enjoyed this particular video, please remember to give it a thumbs up at the bottom. It actually does make a difference. If you're thinking, you know, who cares? Well, actually, the Google computer cares. So if you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up. This is DearMamaSal saying bye-bye for now. Well, hello again, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and I just want to add a little bit on today's vlog. The reason for that is Willy from Rock 101 actually talked about his visit to our company on his morning broadcast today, and it was the cutest thing because he named everybody in the company except you know who. And I sort of was aware of it but didn't really worry too much about it. And then at the very end he said, now then, I mentioned everybody in the company except Sal. And he said there was a reason for that. And the reason was I wanted to personally thank her for the kind compliments that she paid me, both A and B. And so thanks, Sal. And the reason I wanted to just let you know about that, which was, isn't it interesting that my comment was that he was memorable because of his good manners and his people skills, and apparently I was too. So, and so I thought that was a very nice example. And for those of you who are viewers from the Vancouver area, I will obviously ask you to give them a heads up. But on the other point of view, I thought I would just put in the link to the radio station anyway. And if any of you want to thank Willy for mentioning me on radio, that would be awesome. Now the interesting thing is, and you don't have to, the interesting thing is I actually wrote to him and said, oh, by the way, thank you for the very kind comment. And I explained that I'd used him as an example in the vlog today. And I said, and so now people in 200 countries across the world are going to know about you. Because this is what I do in my spare time. This is my other job, my hobby. I just thought that was quite cute. Anyway, so hope you had a good day. This is DearMamaSal saying goodbye for the second time. Bye-bye for now.